Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back in to the Ranger wrap up here on the Illuminerdi. We've got an exciting episode for you all today. We're going to be covering Cosmic Fury episode 2. We're going to be doing a deep dive breakdown into that, and then we also have got some toy reviews. We've got to look at the Omega Ranger 4-pack coming in today. But unfortunately, Larry was not able to join us today. But we do have Kevin Phoenix, also from the Illuminati. Kevin, how are you doing today?
Doing great. How you doing, Bryce?
It's going pretty good. I'm excited to be here. Another day, another Ranger wrap up here today. But let's check into the chat here right now. Don Ranger
My
Power
mouse go.
says
There it is.
at the Illuminati Salty Nerd Podcast Raid. Hello everybody and happy National M&M's Day. Hope everybody is coolio. Don Ranger Power. You know me. I'm always coolio. But especially today, hanging out with you all. And we were mentioning this before the show. It turns out the M&M colors are fairly close to the Cosmic Fury color scheme, which is kind of interesting. But we also got Edward Sanchez Productions here in the chat today. So welcome everybody. Um, but yeah, we're going into episode 2. We've slowed down a bit. Episode 1 was pretty crazy. With just the action and everything going on, and they're trying to explain like where we are, what we're doing. But then now we kind of, I mean, we still, this isn't filler by any means, but we've kind of slowed down and we're able to breathe a little bit, which is definitely nice compared to the first episode.
Yeah, that first episode, I love the opening. That giant like
Yeah.
panning battle fight scene, that was great. But it felt like I was watching it on fast forward.
Yes.
Javi loses his arm. It's like it just happens so fast. It's new Zords out of nowhere. Ollie's evil. There's a lot for like a really short amount of time.
Yeah. Well, also eh, like I whenever I rewatched episode 1 and episode 2 today. Um and it was really weird because I didn't even recognize that they had explained how Lord Zed had returned because I had watched it and I was like, oh wait, like that's how they explained that he was back because the Squid Ink company or whatever found his crystal, and then they said 40 people died trying to open it up or whatever. And I was like, oh, I completely missed that. I wasn't even thinking about how Lord Zed even returned in the first place because again, it's so quick. Something a very major plot point like that was relegated to basically just a one-off line. So it was very it was a very quick, very action-packed episode. But this one we slow down a little bit, which is definitely very nice. But basically we're kind of dealing with the aftermath now. We've got Ollie locked in the back room. He's like throwing shit or throwing stuff or whatever. Um, and then we've also dealt with the fact that Javi has lost his arm. Billy and Solon are working on making a new one. And then also we have Izzy trying to balance her relationships too. We have her talking with her dad. I think we have an image of that. And we're like, who's the police officer in the town or whatever. And she, as her ranger self, she's discussing, okay, what should we do, and stuff like that. And Warden Garcia says that they should just tell nobody that this alien invasion is about to happen, which I think was a little ridiculous, if I do say so myself. I don't know how that's going to help anybody at all. Just tell, like, well, we don't want to worry them. We don't know what's going on, so we'll just say nothing.
I kind of get that. It's like if you tell them they're gonna panic, when they find out they're gonna panic, what's the difference other than you could bring the chaos earlier for no reason or just like kind of deal with
Yeah.
it. It's not. I don't think there's a right or wrong in that one, but
Yeah, I mean, in
yeah,
retrospect, I mean, knowing how this season plays out, I think they could have used a little warning.
yeah, knowing how it goes, like
You
okay, yeah, you
know,
should have warned everybody.
yeah,
You should
right.
have had a plan. You should have started planning. Like, yeah,
But yeah, so that was interesting. We also have where we see Fern for the first time. We got a image of that conversation between Izzy and Fern. Fern obviously knows that Izzy is a ranger now. Um, and so they're kind of like talking about that. Izzy's again, but she had talked to her dad and is like, "All right, we're not going to tell anybody." And so she didn't tell Fern immediately what was going on. And by the way, she's already wearing orange. So that's kind of she didn't wear a single bit of orange in the first two seasons, and now all of a sudden, her whole wardrobe is all orange. So that's kind of interesting. Uh,
yeah. I felt they did that a bit too early, because like I'm just thinking back to like what was it Dino Thunder, like when
Dino
Din-
Fury or what
wait,
or Dino? Are you actually referring
yeah,
to?
because Dino
Well, the first two seasons were called
no, I'm going
Dino
back to Dino
Fury.
Thunder. Um,
Okay, Dino Thunder.
yeah,
Okay,
like Tommy wasn't wearing black
yes. Okay,
in the beginning. He's like, oh, I gotta get a lot more black clothes now. Like I felt like
yeah,
okay, that it's post fact, not pre, not pre fact. I think that's
yeah.
what they should have did with her. But then, how would she have gotten orange in space? So
That's true. Yeah, I mean, she had to pack her pre-pack her clothes.
yeah, I
So
think it just
so
happened. It works out, but like, I yeah, I mean it's a good setup, I guess, like that way too.
yeah, but
Oh, I just thought about it. They didn't
so
change clothes for like a week then, or like however long. They were
I think they did. I think they did change outfits. So maybe they have some spare clothes on the base or the ship or whatever. It's like just in
or when they
case.
morph, it like cleans everything under. Like that
Yeah,
whole light
maybe.
thing. It's kind of like just
Yeah, can you imagine?
dissipating everything.
There's like a little washing machine in there.
Yeah,
It's like
I mean,
because well in Megaforce which was the 20th season or whatever where all the Rangers came back or whatever, their civilian clothes, they wear the same clothes every single episode. Like, yes, they wear the same exact outfit every single episode. And so maybe that explains it. They've got a little
the
washer in
grid
there.
showers
The
every
grid
time they
washer
morph.
clothes.
Like that's just a quick shower for them.
Yeah, because you got to think it gets kind of sweaty in there. So like maybe once the fight's over, they're able to get a little deep clean.
That
Um,
I think that's an unsung power that we just kind of stumbled upon.
yeah. Well, hey, right into canon. Hey, Boom Studios comic books. Let's get that in there. But
better get credited for that if
meanwhile,
that does happen.
yeah. Well, hey, but anyway, and then also we're dealing with Amelia and Ollie um being evil. I think we got a couple photos of that. But sorry, Shay. Well, our producer Shay is really he's overworked right now with all the photos. This
Oh, I
is
gotta press another button. Oh, I didn't
yeah, he's
hotkey
got
it. It's taking twice as
so
long.
many buttons he's got to press. So
I don't want to
everybody
go to
with
the other
Shay
room to
well in
get
the
the
chat.
steam.
He's not
I don't
doing.
want to go get the steam
This is a
beef in
bad
the other
day.
room.
Yeah, but anywho, so but yeah, we've got everything going on with Amelia and Ollie, and then also we're having villains trying to attack Earth
Hmm.
too, and so we've got all this stuff going on, and it's getting kind of crazy, but Lord Zed and his villains start attacking Dino Hinge, which is the base that they're at or
Dino
whatever.
Hinge.
Yeah. Yep. And basically they got to get out there to attack. Fern's like, okay, where did Izzy go? She's completely disappeared. Her parents don't know where she is. And so Fern goes to Dino Hinge as well, and then gets kind of caught up into the battle and stuff like that. Javi eventually receives his new arm. Sorry, Shay, we got a photo of it. So we but but yeah, and now he's trying to figure out how to even work the thing. I guess Billy kind of tells him, "Hey, it's gonna take a while for your brain to sync up with the prosthetic and stuff like that." Kevin, what are your thoughts on the design of the arm? I think it looks awesome.
The arm looks awesome. What I'm wondering is why we don't have Ollie's mom in any of these pictures. Like, I feel like Shay would have
I couldn't
appreciated
find
that.
any good ones. I'm sorry.
All
Well,
pictures of her are good. What are you talking about?
well,
Like,
that was a little weird. Anyway,
she is gorgeous.
but,
What do you mean it's weird? She is gorgeous.
you
Anyways,
know,
back to
she's
the
a she's a nice looking woman. I'll give you that. But yeah, I mean the
Javi's arm is
prosthetic.
pretty cool though. Like,
The
I
arm.
do like the gold, that kind of like gold accent to the Black Ranger
Yes.
colors. It really works
My
well.
one thing, and I we will talk about this in future episodes, but he gets this arm, and you can see it whenever he's unmorphed. You can see it whenever he's morphed. So the secret identity out is out the window, right? Like surely, like I don't know, but they never talk about it because he literally like meets up with his parents and he's got this like robot arm and they don't even say anything, or they never even really talk about it. And so like I don't know. I wish we would have done a little bit more with the arm and in terms of like his social life and stuff like, because we get a lot with like the guitar and like him learning how to play instruments again, but we never really get to see how it affects him like socially, with his relationships outside of the Rangers.
Hmm.
So that I feel like that was kind of disappointing with that whole plot line.
I think we would have gotten that if, like, we got the full 20 episodes.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like a lot of that story was there because we get like glimpses of it. Like, you could tell, like, it's not like it wasn't thought about, but
Right.
with when you lose half your order, you just
Yeah.
that's
Thanks,
like, it's a
Hasbro.
bummer.
Yeah.
It's a huge bummer, but
Yeah. Leave it to Hasbro. But
yeah.
yeah. And so, um, and now we're outside. The Rangers are fighting. We actually get to see Javi morph into his Dino Fury suit with the arm, which I thought was really cool because I mean we always saw the designs with the Cosmic Fury suit, but we never knew that we were going to get it with the Dino Fury suit as well. So I thought that looked really neat.
Yeah, like that the contrast with it, like, it really works. Like, he
Yeah.
almost kind of looks
Well, and
like a
especially since it wasn't supposed
battleized
to be
ranger.
there. Yeah, like it wasn't supposed to be there. It wasn't designed to be there like it was with the Cosmic Fury suit. But but keeping that in mind, I thought it looked really well on the Dino Fury suit.
I wish they would release a figure that had like an alternate arm.
Never gonna happen.
I know. Like,
Well,
I think
I
that'd
don't
have been
even
cool.
know. I don't even know if we're gonna get Cosmic Fury figures. Period. Uh,
Even
so
in the kid line.
yeah,
Oh,
they haven't. We haven't heard anything. So
man, such a, like, the whole, like, one of the big things about
yeah,
Power Ranger fan is the toys, and to not.
yeah. It was literally a toy show. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that's what it was made for. And
And
so yeah, that it's really frustrating. I mean, I at least need I need Zenith Ranger. I need Red Ranger. I need Orange Ranger. Like those are the three I absolutely need. Of course, I would prefer to have the whole or oh also Evil Ollie,
mhm.
the Dark Blue Ranger. Like that suit is one of the best suits they've ever made.
Yeah.
So I mean, I know we're getting ahead. He doesn't even appear in that episode, but he does repledge his allegiance to Lord Zed. He's able to get out of the base after a little scuffle with Amelia, um, and he repledges his allegiance to Lord Zed. But and then he proves that he is fully aligned with Lord Zed by literally trying to take his girlfriend's head off uh with his Dino Fury saber. I thought that was pretty. I think that's probably the most brutal Power Rangers has ever gotten, right there. Like
Yeah.
that was insane.
It's like even more so than like Evil Tommy when he first showed up.
Oh,
Like,
way more so, I think.
yeah, like he's
like
like
like like
he.
e-
It's a full
Evil
on
Ollie.
connection.
Yeah,
It's
Evil
a
Tommy has nothing on Evil Ollie, at least in the show. Now in the
Yeah.
comics, with Lord Draken, okay, yeah,
Oh,
he's
that's very
yeah,
different.
yeah. Well, he's almost pretty much a whole different character too.
Yeah.
Um, but but in terms of TV show Evil Tommy, yeah, he's got nothing on Ollie here. Which his by the way, I mean we mentioned this in the overall review for the full season, but and I'm probably gonna mention it pretty much every single episode that we do this for. But uh Kai Moya's performance as Evil Ollie steals the whole show. Like he plays a fantastic villain. I mean, because in the original two seasons, um uh Ollie was my least favorite out of the six. He just wasn't really that interesting in the character, didn't really get
He,
anything to do.
he was
I
just
did
always
not
annoyed.
well, yeah,
Like
he was always always annoyed, always annoying. And so and I never really shipped him and Amelia. Um and so I was actually really glad that we got to see them kind of like break apart a little bit here because I was really kind of wanting that somewhere in Dino Fury, but they got together at the very end, so there wasn't really time to do that. But seeing the sort of dynamic between him and Amelia throughout this whole season, especially this episode where he literally tries to kill her, you know, um, I thought that was a very very interesting storyline all throughout the whole thing.
uh, same here. I especially love what it does for Amelia's character when she's just like, "We did all we can. We gotta go.
Yeah.
It's a lost cause." Like, that's like she doesn't quite give up on him, but she's like, it's like this is move. We're out. And yeah, I thought there that like I think also what gives Ollie the above over like evil Tommy when he first is that the relationships are already there and he's breaking them.
Yes.
He's messing them
Yes.
all up. Like it's so yeah when you get that kind of that disc like that, he literally severs the connection. Like it
Yeah,
was
I didn't
great.
even think of that because yeah, with Tommy, they had met at like some like karate competition, and then that was
Yeah.
basically it. Like even though he was just the new kid in school, and they didn't really
Hmm.
know him. But yeah, with this, they've been working with him for the past 2 years as Rangers, and now he's been turned evil, and he's trying to kill all of them. So, so yeah, that was really interesting.
That's
Kevin, what in the world is going on in your background?
yeah.
What
There's
is
like a
Power
pretty.
Rangers we got Power
So
Rangers
I'm
on out
across the
there.
street from from SpaceX. So there's like a road that separates me from SpaceX. It's a pretty empty road,
Oh, okay.
and I guess
Man,
they'd
shifting
like
to
to
turbo,
race their
I
bikes on
guess.
there.
Man,
Yeah,
holy cow. But but yeah, and then also meanwhile, I mean this series, I mean this has so much going, so many moving parts all going on at once. But Mick is also starting to look for Zato. We have an image of him in the Megazord. He's piloting, I think, the Wolf Zord at the time. Um, but yeah, we got an image of that. And so yeah, it's interesting, to see sort of these like returning rangers interacting with the new rangers, and like actually being a part, like a main part of the story. I mean, Billy, we got him for the whole season, so
hmm
it's really interesting, especially Kelson Henderson and David Yost being able to interact with each other, two like legends in the Power Rangers franchise. Kelson Henderson uh very well might be in the most episodes of everybody across all of his characters because he's played so many different characters um, throughout all the seasons. And so I thought that was I just thought that was really cool to see Mick pop in every once in a while, and then he gets to interact with Billy. He gets to interact with the Cosmic Fury Rangers. So yeah, I think that whole thing they did there was really cool.
yeah. I'm not too familiar with Mick and Kelsey. Like I'm a Zordon era guy for the
Yeah,
most part,
he was
but I
Kelson
did like.
Henderson was in a lot of the Disney era, and then he came
Mm,
back as Mick in the Neo Saban and Ninja Steel. But yeah, and he played Boom in Power Rangers SPD, Phineas and Mystic Force. He played uh, Norg and Mig in Operation Overdrive. He played Flit in Jungle Fury. And then he played Mick in Ninja Steel. He played Cruz in Beast Morphers. So I mean, he's been in like almost every season since Power Rangers SPD,
shit.
which was season 13, and we're on 30 now.
Oh, so that's more than half.
Yeah, right. so so he's definitely a legend within his own right. And so it was really cool to see him back in this and in a recurring role too. But yeah, and so Fern,
So
yeah,
what?
go ahead,
Wait,
go ahead.
is he the Red Ninja Ranger
So
or Ninja
he
Steel
was
Ranger?
a secondary Red Ranger in that, like, and he was like a one-off kind of thing.
Hmm.
So like it was like one episode, like the finale, and then like the powers went away or whatever.
Uh,
But like in there was like at a certain point there was three Red Rangers. And so he was one of them, and then the Red Morphin Master was like, "Oh, here, have your powers back," and, so it's like, you know,
okay.
so yeah, so kind of weird, kind of interesting, but yeah. Anyway, so Fern gets kind of caught into the fire. Javi is able to kind of get her out of there, take her back to the base, and then say, "Go hide in the bathroom" or whatever, and then yeah, teleport back out into the battle. But yeah, things don't go so well for the Rangers here. We get a little bit of Megazord battle. But eventually the Rangers they need to start taking the plan out of there. They got a big red button, uh, that they're not supposed to touch, but eventually they gotta touch it, and they're looking to head towards the planet Eridus. Or well, actually, well, I guess they didn't really plan to go there. That's just where the button took them, and now they're on the planet Eridus. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to get back. And that's pretty much the end of things there. Oh, and then they realize that Fern is still on the ship, and they go, huh? And then and then and then and then that was pretty much it. So Kevin, overall, what were your thoughts on this episode?
um, if it's just the episode, I feel like it doesn't do much because it's a lot of setups,
Yeah.
a lot of resolution from the last episode. Like it's not like a good standalone episode. But in terms of the story, like I love everything is set up. I love the kind of progress we get with like Javi,
Hmm.
with Fern, and especially Ollie. Uh, I keep saying her real name. It's not Hunter.
Oh,
Why can't I?
Amelia.
Yeah, Ollie and Amelia's like progression. I really enjoyed when Green. I'm bad with the names, but
Izzy.
Izzy, yeah, Izzy was like using a deep voice when she's talking to her dad.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah. She does
like I
that.
thought,
She does that all the time too. By the way, like
yeah,
anytime she's talking to somebody that she knows, she goes like, "Oh, hey, this is what's going on." Like,
like I love the little like character moments they have. Like I feel like, which is another reason I'm sad that we didn't get to 20 because these like I feel this is like probably the strongest cast out of all of them, and that they
yeah,
got to because they got the 3 seasons, they got to put so much into it, and I feel kind of cheated out of it. Especially it's supposed to be a 30-year, 30-year
yeah.
kind of thing. It's like you have you have the tools, you have everything you need. You're just like, let's not do it. So it's bittersweet in that way because like it is. You can see that they have it, they just don't do it, and it's really kind of like,
Yeah, I think with this, I mean, we had, like you said, we had the first two seasons with them, so I wasn't looking for any crazy character growth in this, especially with 10 episodes, because we've already gotten to know these characters, and so
mhm,
I was kind of okay with them just going like, all right, let's just put full focus on story, and we do get a lot with Fern. Which was nice. And in this episode and in the future episodes, we do get to see a lot of development with her because in the first two seasons she was just a recurring role.
mhm,
But then now we're building up to her becoming a ranger, and so I did like, we do get that a little bit with her throughout the season, which I think was needed, and I'm glad that we were able to get that. But in terms of the other Rangers, I didn't think we really needed it as much. We do get a lot with Amelia, her becoming a leader, and then obviously Ollie being evil. But yeah, I do agree that the other Rangers kind of, especially Javi and Izzy get kind of like thrown off to the sideline or whatever.
mhm.
Um, but even with Ion, we get a lot of stuff with him and dealing with what happens with Zato. And so I do think it's small stuff, but I do like how they were able to kind of like space it out. And I do think everybody at some point does get their time to shine here.
Yeah, everybody gets their moments, which is nice.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, overall, like in terms of just my overall thoughts on the episode, I think I enjoyed it more than the first one because it just gives us a chance to like breathe for a second. You know, the first episode was just too much. They had too much going on. Again, I totally get. You know, we've got they were looking for 20 episodes, they got 10. So we're dealing with what we have here, and they had a lot to cover. You know, but in terms of like major explanations, I mean, they were getting like one-off sentences. We still don't really know what Mick and Billy were doing together. Apparently, according to Simon Bennett, they were looking for Zordon already, but we're never told that in the show. We were told that in an interview afterwards. So you know, I just feel like that episode just really missed a lot of stuff there just because of how much they had going on. But with this one, we were able to get those character moments I think that you were looking for, Kevin. Because that first episode we didn't get any. You know, I mean, Javi loses his arm, but I mean that's pretty much what we get. You know, and
Very
so
unceremoniously too. Like it just kind
yeah.
of
I mean, it's
flashlight,
it's
and it's
what's
like
it
hey, what happened?
TVY7, you know. So I mean, you gotta you gotta kind of keep it within the kids rating there, but I, I overall, I think this episode did a lot better of us kind of like getting back into the swing of things and like, okay, this is where the characters are at. This is what we've been doing. We get to see Ion's restaurant that he made a little more. We get to see Izzy's relationship with her parents and her girlfriend and stuff like that. So we're getting a lot more of those actual character moments there, and I think that's why this one is a little bit better than the first. So
Yeah, I do agree. It is better than the first, and especially after that, like that rush pacing of the first. It does like, especially in terms of like, if I'm sure a lot of people binge. I was looking at the chat. Don Ranger Power.
yeah, I was about to bring that up. Yeah,
Eight binged it 8 times, and I feel like having that kind of like that dip in the not energy, but that like amped up actually, energy. I guess I can't think of a better word. What is really helpful in terms of a binge watch too, because you can't just like keep like leaning in for 10 episodes straight. You gotta be able to sit back and everything.
yes, yeah. So, but
Oh,
yeah, that's kind of our thoughts for Cosmic Fury episode 2. Next week, as you can imagine, we're going to be covering episode 3. So stay tuned for that. But now we've
we should
got some.
we should
Go ahead.
get the chat going too. Like, yeah, if anybody in the
Yeah,
chat wants to share their opinions and stuff like that, I'd
yeah.
love to know what you think.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on episode 2? Did you like it more or less than episode 1? Let us know about
Favorite
that.
moments. Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll get to them once they start coming in. But and then
yeah,
until then,
for sure.
uh,
Yeah, so we're gonna move on now. For some toy stuff. Kevin, you got your hands on the Omega Rangers, which I'm kind of jealous of. I had to get the restock, so I'm probably not gonna get mine for quite a while.
think that,
But
yeah,
but
you got
you,
like a month.
yeah, I know. I already got my master more for those, so that's nice. But yeah, Kevin, you got your hands on the Omega Rangers, so yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it to you.
Oh, all right. So the Omega Rangers, from the Boom Comics, Zach, Trini, Jason, when they go to their World Leader Summit, they actually go into space. So there was I'm a little behind on the comics, but there was an episode, there was an issue where like Jason was like kind of worried about leaving things to Tom. He's like, screw this, I'm just gonna take out Zed. So him and the Omega Rangers basically stormed the castle, and I kind of tried to recreate that scene a little bit, like
That's such a cool shot, Kevin. That's awesome.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. So I did a video to talk about it, and then I'll talk more about it afterwards if I want to play the video. Can you play? What up, Illuminerdi? It's Kevin Phoenix here, and today I'm going to be talking about the Hasbro Lightning Collection Omega Rangers. The Omega Rangers are kind of the comic book version of Zach, Jason, and Trini leaving. They gain a new partner in Kaya, who, spoiler alerts, doesn't last, to put it lightly.
The Omega Rangers might be the last set we get from the Lightning Collection, and if it is, I want to say that the Lightning Collection is going out strong. As you can see, the detail is amazing. The effects are pretty cool. You got these kind of like movement swipes for Zack's sights. You got this super crazy lightning for Jason and Kaya. And my favorite though is Trini's impact hammer. Look at that. You almost feel bad for Scorpino. Look at that thing. That thing is just cool. The figures are very posable. The downside is like their leg joints aren't the strongest, or like right at the hip. And like Trini's weapons too heavy for her to hold like one-handed arms out, which doesn't mean a lot to a lot of people. But if you're trying to make someone look imposing, holding a big ass hammer with one arm all the way stretched out, you can't do that with this figure. That fist punch is from another figure. I forgot which one. That doesn't come with the Jason figure at all. But as you can see, the detail, the pinless design, it all works. You get some really great action shots. Really make these figures come to life. I highly recommend it especially if you're MMPR fan. If you read the comics, yeah, these figures are awesome.
Uh,
So,
my,
so what we've been talking about is how amazing the Omega Rangers look, and and when I was talking about earlier, you're like, those photos that you took, Kevin. I mean, they look absolutely incredible. I mean, and if this is the end of the Lightning collection, like if these are the last figures that we're going to be getting for a while, these are absolutely incredible.
all right, cool.
Yeah, so. I guess you can go back into what you were saying
Yeah,
earlier. Apparently Kevin was muted. Sorry about that, everybody.
yeah, yeah. Like the details great. The pinless design makes it like even smoother. You get the balance on them is really good. The one balance that's not good is like Trini's weapon is way too heavy, so you can't do
Oh,
like a
okay.
full
Yeah, the
arm out
hammer.
holding. Like if she could hold like by the the end of the hammer and hold it fully extended, it would make like it's just such a badass pose that you can't pull
Yeah,
off. Which I mean, it's a lot to ask for in this range of figure, but it's something that's there. And then if you use the little effect that comes with it, it's way too heavy to like even hold up. Like so, if, like you try to just hold it to the side, the hammer is gonna slide down the hand. Like it's and just gonna hold it by the bowl or the.
yeah.
But
The mallet. Yeah,
yeah, other than that, like the effects are cool. It makes it looks like it, like especially Trini and Zax, because it gives them a lot of motion, which is
yeah.
for
Oh yeah, that
photography you
hammer
want a lot.
effect where it's like kind of like coming out or whatever, like the flames, and then the hammer goes in. Like that one.
Yeah,
Honestly, that might be the best lightning effect piece that they've ever made. I think like that one is so
yeah,
cool for the hammer. But
it's like it's a great set. I wish they had more hands. Like I do like having the karate chop hand, or
yeah.
and then kind of like
Well,
the semi grab.
yeah, and they
Like
also don't come with head sculpts, which is
oh yeah,
really lame, especially since this is Jason, Zach, and Trini. You've got plenty. I
mhm,
think you've got plenty to choose from there. And like Kaya, like I kind of get it because she's a comic character. They don't usually do head sculpts for those, but it would still be nice to have.
yeah,
And I do understand that Jason, Zach, Trini already have like a million figures, so I mean you can just use one of the head sculpts from them. But it still would be nice to have, especially it's $100 set, and
Yeah.
it doesn't come with head sculpts, So I think that's kind of lame personally, but usually with the comics they don't come with head sculpts ever. Ranger Slayer didn't come with a head sculpt.
Which
So
which like a huge loss too, because that Kimberly haircut with the Ranger Slayer is really cool.
yeah.
Like, so yeah, it's a missed opportunity, but
Well, I
it's
mean, it's
still not
completely
as
different
bad.
than Kimberly's usual haircut. So I mean,
Oh
you
yeah,
can't use a Kimberly head sculpt on there because
yeah.
she looks completely different. But
It's nowhere near as annoying as the blue Zeo Ranger not coming with the
oh
tonfas. So,
yeah, but you got plenty of those now with the cogs, right? You bought 20 of those cog figures.
well,
So
I bought the 2 packs because I didn't want a bunch of the tonfas.
oh, you bought the 2 packs. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
so I got one of the regular ones, or no, I got 2 of them, and then I gave the tonfas to somebody at like a one of these street meets. Like they needed the tonfas, and I just wanted 12 cogs. So
So we're getting word that maybe the wrong image is up, but it looks right on my screen. So on the stream, so I think we're good.
oh, I
But
don't have that. I don't have the chat open. That's
no, well,
problem.
yeah, look at that. That looks. Those are the Omega Rangers. So
Yeah,
uh,
but
but
let's
anyway,
go to the fence.
yeah, yeah. So we got some people in the chat. Don Ranger Power says 10 out of 10 lightning bolts for the first 2 episodes of Cosmic Fury. It seems like you're really enjoying it. Metal Ryan Cluster is in the chat. What's going on, buddy? Nice to see you here. Thomas Franco also says 10 out of 10 for the whole series. He said he saw all 10 episodes the day it came out. Yeah, I think that's I think a lot of people were just binging it, so they didn't go on Twitter and get things spoiled for them. So I definitely would not have been too happy because believe it or not, since I was kind of away from Illuminerdi for a few months, I didn't know a lot of the stuff that was going to happen. Um, I there were quite a few surprises for me there. So I was really happy to be able to experience that, not going into it, not knowing exactly everything that was going to happen. Because in Down to Fury, I kind of was like, I kind of knew everything before it came. I mean, I had watched the whole season before it came out, but by this, I got to watch it with you all as a viewer, which was a really nice experience that I haven't gotten to have in a while since ever since Dino Fury's been airing, ever since I've been a part of Illuminerdi. So everything I've seen, I've ever either seen beforehand already, or we already wrote a story on it. And so it was really cool to be able to get to experience this as a viewer.
I just remember at
Yeah,
Morphicon last year, you were so giddy because you watched all the episodes.
I know. Yeah, well,
That's
dude, that was so much fun too because I don't get to watch Power Rangers, with a group of people very often. I mean, it's a very niche show, so it's hard to find people, that would actually want to watch it, with. And so yeah, I mean, I hadn't gotten to have an experience like that since I was a child, So yeah, that was a awesome experience being able to watch Dino Fury season 2 with everybody at Morphicon. We had the opportunity to watch it early, and yeah, that was honestly one of my favorite experiences watching Power Rangers. Is in we were in Joe's hotel room, and do you remember we were having people trying to spy in? There's like people at the door trying to listen in. Do you remember?
no, I was
Oh,
setting.
well,
I
you
was
weren't
like,
there.
yeah, I didn't do
Oh,
that
okay.
stuff. 'Cause, yeah, I didn't want. I couldn't afford the hotel room.
Oh
Like
yeah,
I wasn't staying there.
but yeah, there was people like kind of like at the door trying to like listen in or whatever. So that was kind of odd. Eventually we were having to like pause the show and like go out there and try to see if like anybody, but like there was somebody waiting out of our hotel room for like an hour, like just like standing. Yeah, it
That's
was
awesome.
really weird. Yeah, that was really weird. So don't do that, everybody. If you hear Power Rangers going on in somebody's hotel room, that's weird. So don't do that. But
I mean, if you hear
otherwise,
anything going on in someone's hotel room, don't stand outside the door.
yeah,
Like,
that's just really horrible invasion of privacy there.
yeah.
But anyway, but before we wrap things up here, Kevin, you wanted to talk a little bit about the Ninja Turtle Ranger figures. I mean,
Yeah.
these figures released quite a while back, but now the line might be ending or going on hiatus here soon. We're kind of highlighting some of the really cool things that we got in the line, maybe like glass half full kind of thing.
Yeah.
So Kevin, you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. If Shay could pull up the picture real quick. Like so, so like fandoms for me started. Ninja Turtles was like day one. I can't remember my life with there never being never. Ninja Turtles has always existed in my life. So it went from Ninja Turtles, but then like whatever I think CBS had it at the time, they like kept messing with the airing schedule and it was harder to watch. Then
Yeah.
Power Rangers came like right after that. So I went from Ninja Turtles to Power Rangers. So it's like those are the two first fandoms like of my life. And so when we got the crossover comic, I lost my mind. And then when we got the toys, like I just, I mean, I paid full price. I was like the first person to pre-order them, and I got those right away. And yeah, just go ahead and play the video, Shay, and then I'll talk more about it like afterwards. I'm going to vamp while the video plays. But hey, quick question for like people and everybody's like, what's the appropriate amount of time before spoilers are okay after something comes out? Like something to think about. We'll talk about after, because yeah, like so the show aired what on a Friday. Like if go ahead and roll into it. So yeah, appropriate amount of time before spoilers are okay. Like what's the etiquette? So yeah, we'll talk about that at the end, and
I
then
can get my
What up,
like I have my
Illuminerds? I'm not
figures like
sure
right
how
next to me. I
many
can
of you
pull
guys
them
will
out if
like
you
this
want
one, but
nice.
to.
I'm going to talk about
Oh well,
the
except this.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mighty Morphin Power Ranger Lightning Collection figures. If the Lightning Collection is in fact dead, at least we got these. These are my childhood, just wrapped up in the greatest combination ever. Ninja Turtles, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. It's amazing. These are the best thing to come out of the Lightning collections outside the Master Morpher. It they're phenomenal. The detail, the posability, the balance. The only downside to the posability is that the turtles don't have a waist. They have a waist joint to like turn on, but the shell pieces prevent them from doing it. That is the only downside. But like the custom weapons, you got the lance swords for Leo, you got the sai swords for Raph, the what are Trinity's weapons called again? Well, nunchuck version of the Does, bow staff with an axe or a long ass axe for Donnie, and Shredder, Green Ranger Shredder is just amazing. See, these figures are gorgeous. They are the best thing to come out of Lightning Collections, figure wise, hands down, bar none. And I didn't forget April. She's the one recording, so yeah, that's the only reason why she's not there. But yeah, if you agree, disagree, let me know what you think. But I'm right, you're wrong.
Um, Ninja Turtle Power Ranger figures. Like if the line is over, at least we got these. These are among the best toys ever made in humanity. Like in the since like the first Barbie.
The
Since
first Barbie.
yeah,
Wow.
like
that's
like
that's
that's
a that's
how
a high bar right there.
yeah, like like the first Transformer. Like these are the best. Like look at the Green Ranger Shredder. Like look at that
Oh my
head
gosh, yeah.
sculpt, the the gauntlet, the use of the shield. Like it's elegant, it's badass, and it's like taller than the other figures, which is like a
Yeah.
scaling thing too.
Well,
Um,
Green Ranger Shredder might be the one of, if not the best figure in the line.
yeah,
I mean, it is absolutely incredible. And like, and you got the cape with it too. And then just like the whole design in general. I mean, I know the design was designed by the comic book artist, of course, but I mean, they were able to translate it into toy form So exceptionally well. I mean, it's a phenomenal. I mean, it's a almost like a piece of art. Like it is
It,
such
it,
a
it
wonderful
is.
figure.
Also, I love that they use a soft, like a fabric cape. Like whereas none,
Yeah,
like the Draken figure, Ranger Slayer is all hard plastic, so you lose
yeah,
so much of the like the mobility of the figure.
yeah,
With the soft goods like this, like you have full range of motion. You can do cool things. I mean,
yeah,
you could even like have a little fan and like just make it look cool.
yeah.
I I'm not sure how the Ranger fans are gonna take it that I had the Turtle Rangers just obliterating them. You know, Leo's taking out Red Time Force and Kruger Ranger. Mikey took out Dino Thunder and is you know going off on the mic. Took off. I put on his turtle head just to kind of show off the one of the turtle heads. Uh, I really like how the Donnie figure came out, like when he's just like taking out Silver
Yeah,
Space Ranger, like using the little bulbs. I forgot those bulbs from. I used effects from other pieces,
yeah,
but just to give it that kind of impact look. And then I had Shredder Behead. I just I grabbed the first figure or like one of the remaining figures out there, but like
yeah.
I have nothing against that Ranger. It's just
The only one,
it's closer.
the only one, oh, it's a white Dino Thunder. That actually looks really
Yeah.
cool. But the only one I don't really, and I don't really have anything else that I really would have wanted them to do with it is, but April O'Neil is literally just the Pink Ranger without the skirt. I mean, you do get like a camera, accessory and a microphone and stuff like that, but it's just like I don't know. I wish that I like what they did in the second series where they gave them their own distinct suits and they weren't just based
Hmm.
off of the Mighty Morphin. I think that allowed them to be a lot more creative with it, and they got to keep their original colors too. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, hopefully, if Lightning Collection ever comes back, or if they keep going with something, I would really like to see those other turtle figures too, from
Yeah.
the
The
second
Power
series.
Extreme Turtles. The Power Extreme was that's what they're called, right?
Well, so they had the Dimension X Rangers, and then
Yeah.
those were the turtles that I think they turned to humans and then became Rangers or whatever.
Uh,
And then they had the Mutant Rangers, where the Power Rangers became mutants, and so they
I
like
want those
swapped.
figures. I want those
Yeah,
figures. I really want
yeah,
those figures. I expect them all to be kind of in scale with the Shredder figure.
yeah. They definitely need to be bigger for sure,
Yeah.
but yeah, everybody, I think that's going to pretty much conclude things here on today's edition of the Ranger Wrap Up. Let us know what you all thought of the Ninja Turtle Rangers, if you want to see more stuff like that, if they continue the line in the future. And also let us know what else you want us to talk about in these Ranger Wrap Up episodes. We're going through deep breakdowns of the Cosmic Fury episodes, but we only got 10 of those, right? So if you want to see more toy stuff, if you want to see more of the comics, if you want to see some retro stuff, let us know what you all want to watch. Let us know what you all want to see, and we will do our best to deliver to you all. But yes, once again, thank you all so much for watching, and we will see you next week for more of the Ranger Wrap Up.